All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here live at Sit Down at Uptown. That's what we do, man. So Sit Down at Uptown. Tonight we have a music video that's being shot, and we have a special photographer in the house that I wanted to talk to because I'm speaking to her, and come to find out she is a worldly photographer. She has moved here from Los Angeles, California, not Los Angeles, but California. And she's been working with some independent artists and some industry artists. And I would love to bring her on the screen now and get to know more about her. Her name is
Nina Karatova.
Nina K, they call her.
Nina K or Karatova.
Karatova.
Half of Atlanta knows me by either one.
Right. So, Miss Karatova, you're here tonight shooting background images for the music video with my man DJ Taz, Cyrus, and Dennis Taylor.
Yes.
Right. And so now, how did you get involved with this project?
Actually, I just got a call last minute about it. They asked me if I was free and brought me on to the project. So,
wow.
And I actually know Cyrus, so it all kind of went through that. And my manager said, hey, we need you out to do some behind the scenes. And so here I am.
But you were telling me that this is not your first time behind the scenes. You shot for a lot of people that people know. So tell some of the people you've been shooting for.
Yeah, I've worked, the other day I was on set with 550. I've worked locally with Akbar V. For stage photography, I've done Gucci, Lil Wayne, Yo Gotti. Outside of hip hop, I've done Billy Joel, Dolly Parton.
Wow.
Tom Petty.
So the photography business is great.
Yeah, it's great. But I really found my footing when I got into hip hop. It's like I finally found my home when I got into the hip hop scene. Wow. When I got into Atlanta. And I'm not being facetious, but you're not the typical hip hop fan, I would think. No, I grew up in California listening to punk rock. I was, so I was on a red carpet event in New Orleans. A magazine I was working for couldn't make it to the Global Spin DJ Awards.
Right.
And so they had asked me, hey, can you go cover this event? Because I was living in New Orleans at the time. So I showed up, and before I knew it, people like DJ Envy, DJ Khaled, just all these different people were like coming to me, and I was posting their photos online, and everything just kind of took off from there. And before I knew it, I started getting phone calls from artists, and like I said, I lived in California, I lived in New York, so Atlanta was kind of like the dream for me to live in.
Wow.
And so now this is home.
I'm not going to tell her why you said it's the dream. That's between me and you.
It's because Killer Mike lives here.
Killer Mike? You love Killer Mike?
Oh my God, I'm so in love with Killer Mike.
I love his special on Netflix, man.
Yeah, and the thing is he has always been one of my goals to work with. And I actually shot him for when Run the Jewels played in New Orleans. And there was an issue at the door, and I couldn't get backstage where I needed to be to do this photo shoot. I couldn't get into the venue, and I was standing there, and some guy was at the door, and he couldn't get back either because he forgot his credentials behind the stage. And so he was like, no, my credentials are back there. I just went and got food. And I looked at him and said, excuse me, sir, but if this lip gloss isn't getting me through that gate, that smile of yours isn't. Did not know that was the tour manager for Run the Jewels. And before I knew it, that was how, and then I was up in the photo pit the whole show, capturing photos that nobody else was able to get. I've worked with Killer Mike twice at a couple of his events.
That's great.
Here.
Did you work with any of the Netflix? Did you were able to be a part of any of that? His Netflix special? Because it is crazy. No.
The
things he have people do. Have you watched any of it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's off the chain.
He's the reason why I run a lot of my business the way that I do.
Right.
And stuff. And it's always been really important for me, especially since being in hip hop, that 95% of my money comes, from Black artists. So it's very important for me to reinvest that into the community. And I'm all about community involvement. So programs that I want to build here in Atlanta, I just want to make everything that I get, I want to make sure it's regenerated back into the community.
That's wonderful, KK Nova.
Yeah, and it's, you know, and this is, you know, before I came to Atlanta, you know, I've had the honor of sitting with like Sylvia Fulton, Trayvon Martin's mom,
right.
You know, and her and I were in tears, and she was telling me I was an inspiration, you know, and it's people like me that keep going, you know. I've talked to Reverend Al Sharpton and several activists, you know, in the community, and because of the viewpoints I have, which is a whole other podcast, a whole another story,
yeah.
You know, I've always been welcomed into the community because they feel like my voice is something that can open doors.
Wow.
You know, and because of the viewpoints and the way that I was raised and where I came from, and, you know, witnessing like systematic oppression from a different, you know, set of eyes, you know, because I worked in social services, so I saw housing discrimination, all this other stuff.
Right.
You know, and luckily for me, I have my camera, you know, who's helping me build this clientele and tell this story, you know, and putting me, you know, and working with celebrities. I work with some of the top celebrities in the industry, and there's celebrities that I've signed, you know, paperwork that I can't even mention, you know, that I work with them because everything's super confidential.
Right.
But just being, you know, with the people that I'm with, it's just, you know, a complete blessing from God. I came to Atlanta not knowing anybody, you know, and when I first got here, I was pretty much doing red carpet events, celebrity events, and at the end of the night, sleeping in my car at the Walmart parking lot.
Wow.
You know, and now I'm living in downtown, and I have a great management team. I became the official photographer and brand ambassador for Nagash Shoes, which is the first black-owned shoe company to have the same manufacturer as Nike.
Nagash?
Yeah, Nagash.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they're based here in Atlanta.
Wow.
Another company that I work for is Salute Tees, and they're about saluting people for the efforts in the community and bringing empowerment into communities and just recognizing what people are doing. So I'm part of their movement. And like I said, just I have the honor of working with some amazing, you know, people. I work with, I'm working like in 2 Chainz and Snoop's establishments.
Wow, look at you.
I recently shot Jermaine Dupri, who was on my list when he received his a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Wow.
I was right there, you know, they had me first thing right on the red carpet doing that. And so I mean, it's just
That
like
is
a
wonderful.
blessing.
That is wonderful. Now, you were telling me about things you want to teach younger people or new people about photography. Speak about that real quick.
Yeah, it's definitely important for me to give back to younger photographers and teach them what they need to know. If people see something that they like on Instagram, I always get questions, hey, how did you take that shot? What did you do? And it's very important for me to educate the photographers, you know, because I'm self-taught.
Right.
You know, and everything I've done up until I had my great management team, you know, I've hustled and have done on my own. And so it's very important for me to teach photographers how to get the shots they need to get. And people often ask me, well, aren't you afraid, you know, because you're creating competition? And for me, it's like, I want those people to go for the same exact jobs that I'm going for and get them, because then I did what I'm supposed to do.
That's amazing. I've never heard anyone with that strategy. Everybody's pretty much selfish, but that's great to hear that you want to see other people succeed in the same field that you're in.
It is, you know,
it just makes for a great camaraderie.
You know, it is, and there's enough work for everybody, and if we work together and collaborate, you know, and just come together in doing things and helping each other, we'll get a lot farther. Because I know that I'm on the rise to the top.
Right.
You know, I'm already pretty much 1 foot there, and
right.
I don't want to be there alone. I want people to come with
exactly,
me.
Exactly.
You know, and so
you have a network of people that's doing great work. You know the work is being done right.
Yeah.
You know the appreciation of the work is done right. The artists they know that they've been trained from your background. They're not going to step on people's toes. They're not going to interfere with people. Just there to do the work.
Yeah, and I mean, like, one of the major photographers in the hip hop industry is Johnny Nunez out of New York.
Yeah.
that's my family.
Right.
That's who gave me my first opportunity working for Essence Magazine.
Okay.
You know, and so that, you know, and taking me into the VIP celebrity world, you know, so he took me under his wing. And
Right.
so from learning from Johnny Nunez, one of the greatest hip hop photographer
Right.
out there, you know, it's like, that's what he always told me, Nina, you don't owe me anything but pass on what I taught you.
That is great, Nina.
You know,
Nina, I enjoyed. This is what the Sit Down At Uptown is all about, man. Atlanta is one of those cities where we get a lot of people that's coming through Atlanta now. That's like yourself, who can educate and inform and do great work, and people can aspire to look up like someone like yourself. Tell people how to get in touch with you, how to keep and follow with you.
You know, I mostly use Instagram, so you can find me on Instagram, Karatova, Karetova. And KaratovaPhotography.com. You can see some of my work. And you'll see me on all the red carpet events. You'll see me in the back scenes of 11 Hip Hop episode this season. You'll see me everywhere. So always feel free to come up, say hello, you know, and let's talk, let's network.
Yeah.
If you're going to get ahead in Atlanta, and, you know, you have to network. You have to be out there.
That's right. Hey, and I thank you for coming through, and good hunting for your men here in Atlanta. They're out there. Just find the right man, okay?
You know what? I'll just keep the comment to myself. There's a lot of nice-looking men here. So,
oh, man. I thank you very much coming through. Karatova. Yes, thank you, Karatova. And we see y'all. I mean, to Sit Down At Uptown. We'll see y'all. We back next time. Sit Down At Uptown.